Hello. Hi. How is everybody? Let me try to get my dog. He overate Saturday and Sunday, and he wasn't feeling well. It's all good because he just got it out of his system. But for like, I think for the whole evening, he wasn't really feeling well. I think he needed to get it out. So morning when my mom walked him, he got some out, um, and then a little more just before we had lunch. So he's okay now. I think he's feeling better, but so I would only feed him like my mom makes food for him, just chicken and then sweet potato or sometimes whatever broccoli or something like that. Um, we feed him that every 3 days. So on the third day, because he doesn't like repeating his food. So I said, okay, I'm gonna, not that I'm gonna starve you, but like I'm not gonna give you like good food. Not like I'm not gonna give him good food, but it's just dry food for him for 2 consecutive days. And then we feed him the food that my mom makes for him. So that kind of worked. Now I thought like, oh, he goes to the park Sundays. So maybe it's an opportunity for him to get a little bit more of the nutritious natural food that my mom makes. So we got to the park, chased squirrels for like 2 hours. And then after that I fed him right after he's done playing. He's here now. Come here. Come on. Come on. It's a lot of ceremony before he comes to me. Okay. Come on. You're feeling better? Hmm? You say hi. Hi, hi. Say hi. Say hi, baby. Hi, hi. Okay. Okay. You can lie down. So yeah, so I fed him some more food. And because he is tired, his tendency is to just eat as much as he can, which was my mistake. I should really have been controlling his food intake, knowing that he already ate a lot the previous day. And so I guess, yeah, his tummy couldn't take it, all that food. And so he needed to just get it out of the system. But once we get home, I think the other thing that kind of worsened it is that he actually wanted some treats. So I gave him one. And I don't often give him, it's like once a day or twice a day. So I gave him a treat. I guess that added to the already full tummy that he had. So yeah, but he is okay now. He's perfect. Okay. Hi everybody. Yes, they cancel the only the sound check, not the concert. Okay. I'm gonna say hi to everybody. Nadira. Is there anybody here from North Dakota? Rob or was from North Dakota? Robin or someone just familiar with the area. Hanako Grace, Nadira, Lisa Parker, Carla Girl, Z Arashi, Robin Bryce, PZ48128, Nadira, Z Arashi, Leah Warburton, Lisa Parker, PZ48128, OSP, Sarah, Simply JJ, Hanako Grace, Jax, iCarmi, Leia Z Arashi, Jolie, Orchid, Amy C, OSP, Jax, Ruth, Silver Star, Atsuko Tanji, Emily Tendler, Amy saying hi to you. Well, everybody's saying hi to you. OSP, Robin Bryce, Elizar, Taryn, Carla Girl. It is hot, yes. Carol Faye sound check was canceled. Yeah. Ruth Fisher. So I guess if it continues raining, we're gonna see another wet bangtan. Wet tan. Sonyondan. Orchid, Nadira, Robin Bryce, Lisa Parker, AK Bangtan, Ruth Fisher. Is the BTS concert canceled? No, just the sound check. Jack saying hi to you, Daebak. Jolie A, Reg Pair 1, CC, Dodger Girl, Leia. I'm so that this made me laugh. I'm so dumb. I had to stand up for a moment and had to take my earphones out. Then I wondered why I couldn't hear fairly. Amy C, Carla Girl, June, Rabin, Reg Pair, Pia, Saskia, Lim Faith, Arlene, Halina W, Lisa Parker, Christina Seven Forever, Cece, Arlene Michelle Santiago, Wonder Human, Senri 3, Multistan, Shishi 429. Hello everybody. How are you all? Wetan Sonyondan. Yeah, yeah. So I saw the news release. They are where is that? Where is that? Oh, I might not have yeah, I might not have put it here, but they said the um so okay, here. I'm going to give you some live updates on the situation. So the weather warning has been lifted. So I guess they're like, oh, it's clear, everything's gonna be okay. But so there, you can see update tornado warning has been lifted. The sound check has been canceled, and the concert is due to take place. The concert is scheduled to take place as planned. So all the all the wait a minute. Okay. Every like all the ones that have VIP tickets will get partial refund. So send off for those who had soundcheck tickets. I guess they are not because they said they're gonna get partial refunds. So probably not that. We're gonna be talking about the 14-minute sketch that they actually released. I observe a lot of good things about this tour, which I hope they will continue. So that's it. Okay, there you go. So that's the news for Baltimore. And then after that, I still someone gave me tickets for Chicago that I can give away. That I just got it yesterday. So I am going to post on Patreon and also on X. Well, Patreon first, and then Discord, and then X if there are no takers. I just got it yesterday from someone. So if anyone wants to go to Chicago, let me know. Okay. How's your weekend though? Is there anybody from North Dakota or someone who's familiar in North Dakota? Is there anybody here? Um the reason is, so I have this, someone offered me a project. It's just a project, but it's still like a 1 year project. Which I don't know if I'm ready for that. But um yeah. Anyway, so I just want to know like how it, I've never been there. So I want to know like how it is, like how is the area, how is the place. I guess it's very close to the, like the hub of the project is going to be in the downtown area for a short time a long time ago. So it's going to be like very close to the downtown area. So they were kind of telling me, oh, you'll have everything that you need here. Um, and then they said it's like very safe or something. I don't know if that's true. And then I might arrange a trip just to see how it goes. It's just a project, but it's still a 1 year project. Okay, what city? That's a good question. I should have known that, right? I should have remembered. It's, yeah, but it's not like a permanent thing. So that's good. But still, like, where is that? Because it's really just I can't tell you what it is, but it's just a project. But for me to spend like a year, 12 to 16 months there, it would be okay. Give me 1 second, and I'm going to tell you where that is. Grand Forks and Fargo. Does that make sense? I know some are upset. Fargo and Grand Forks. CC Josa. Yeah, Fargo and Grand Forks. Okay. So are you familiar with the area? Like I have absolutely no clue. I saw a picture and it was like all snow. Like I don't know. Both are college towns in the east part of the state. Okay. East. So summer is brutal, I guess. Because west is the one that's like kind of okay, right? I live in Manitoba, above North Dakota. You will definitely see snow. Terrain. Okay. Is it safe like in the area? The winters are brutal, but it is nice otherwise. Hi everyone, just dropping. Hi, all snow. Dropping in for a bit. I saw the tornado warning for Baltimore. So glad I did not try to push. Make that 6 hour drive. Leg issue. Yep, all snow. Okay. Do you have to move? I have to shuttle a lot. I mean, I don't have to move. I do need to get a place there for at least 12 months. I don't have to go back and I have to go back and forth for sure for at least 12 months, probably 18 months. I haven't agreed yet. And it's like it's just like an exploratory meeting. So I was just thinking like if we ever proceed to 2 months, I wouldn't want to do that. If it's a no for me, I wouldn't even want to push through for a second meeting. And there's a lot of logistical things that I need to think about because a lot of my friends are here in California, like my best friend's family and my best friend, they're here in California. So, and that's part of a huge reason why I'm staying here because, if anything happens, especially with my mom, I know that I can call them and they'll be there. Um, so, or my dog or something like that. If I move out, I lose that. And just to keep the connection going. But if I do accept that, like, so do I keep the place here? Like things like that. I would have to move for, yeah, at least for 12 months, possibly for 18. Okay. Um if you guys know anything about that area, let me know. Interesting heart project. Interesting. Yeah, a very interesting project, correct. Okay. So let's start with industry updates, some interesting industry updates, or you want to start with BTS? I'm late, so I missed the moving convo. It's not really moving convo. It's more like I was just still asking people about the area. I totally agree with your statement. Okay. Just got here. Not no, I'm not moving. It's just still in the exploratory area. Would you take Daebak with you or leave with your mom? Well, I'm gonna have to take them both, right? Like if I decide to stay there full time for the next 12 months, I'm gonna have to take the both of them. I can't leave them here. Or if I shuttle, then I will have to leave them here, and then I go there. I don't know yet. It's obviously a big decision. This is like 16 years, 15 years here in California. So North Dakota. She's asking where. North Dakota. Let's see. I mean, I told you guys that I really wanted to move, but I was thinking like either probably like Boise or something like that. I did not think of North Dakota. um, traveled to Fargo for business. Felt very safe as a single woman. That travel is a lot. Yeah, it is a lot. It is a lot. Yeah. So let's see. I guess I do need to go there and just see the place first, and I mean, do a lot of thinking because I don't know. I bet plus your apartment there is also consideration. Yeah, a lot of consideration. So let's talk about BTS first. I heard people are nice there, but winter is terrifying and you will see bears. Gotta watch out for them. Oh my God. Bears. I wish you could move to Boise. That is still in, I mean, that's still in play. That's one of the areas that I've been thinking about. But it's not going to happen this year, probably not next year. So the soonest will probably 2028 unless and you don't know life, right? Sometimes it just throws you something you never expect. So um housing and land over there is super cheap. Well, if you're living amongst bear, it has to be cheap. um yeah, so still a lot of consideration and it's not permanent. I mean, it is a project. It's a good project though. It's an exciting project for me. But having to move there. One of the things that I've actually realized is that a lot of the major things that used to happen, like in New York and California, they're starting to move to places, other states in the US, well, outside of the country or states in the US that are not like visitor heavy or just like not a major state, not California and not LA or New York or Chicago. So LA is amazing though. It's amazing, yeah. I wish they could clean it up. That's probably will make me very, very happy if they start cleaning it up. But let's see. Okay, let's start with BTS. Okay, were you all able to watch the 40 minutes or something sketch that they have for the first leg of North America? I moved from Honolulu to Boston and it was hard. Google AI is your best friend for that task. Boise isn't terribly welcoming to Californians, at least that's been my experience. Blame them for increased house prices plus others. Okay. I can't blame them for not welcoming Californians, especially LA. I have experienced a lot of discrimination for being from LA. Of all the discrimination I will experience, that's the one that I often experience. Okay, it was great. Yes, it was great. I think so for sure. Actually, one of the main observations that I do think that for sure there is going to be a documentary, probably a series for this entire tour. or probably both. I mean, it's going to be more than a year, so I do think that they have a lot of materials. Okay, so one of the things that kind of made me realize, so several things, right? Number one is that the shots are very tight. If you look back at the entire documentary, their sketch, the shots are always almost always focused, like really zoomed in on one or in an area, and they usually are locked in that place. So of course there's a lot of reason for that. One is to protect the staff and protect the integrity of the other things that are going around in the area. So that will definitely be like that's a consideration for them when they're shooting documentaries. They need to make sure that not they're not disclosing some of the things that shouldn't be disclosed. So that's one. But also the second thing is that I think because there is a bigger story that they are going to be telling, which we are going to witness in the movie or the documentary series that they're going to be releasing. So I'm very excited for that, but that's gonna come later. I think in the 2 or 3 or maybe 2 to 3 weeks ago, I said that one of my predictions is that they're going to be releasing some of the songs that they've recorded, or maybe even a new song, and then they're going to do an encore and perform some of the songs there. So I think that the anchor itself is going to be a separate documentary, and then this one's going to be a separate documentary. So that's first observation. All the shots are super tight. So if you go back and watch it again, you're going to observe like, oh my God, like they are really trying to avoid showing a lot of the things that are going around them. How will that move affect your two books, the magazine and the social media projects? It won't really. I'm not going to let go of it. And that I actually told them that. And I told them even before we met that the one thing that I will not let go of would be the channel and the projects that I have going. So I said, if that is the expectation, I said, we don't have to proceed with this meeting and whatever. And they said, it's okay. We just need to figure out the timing and all of those good stuff. So no, it's not going to affect it. Okay. So was pleasantly surprised with the documentary. It was in a way, but I do feel that a lot of the things that they showed in this one is very much on the things that they're not going to be needing for the main documentary that they're going to be. I have that feeling, right? Like there that is not that it is not insightful. You just kind of know that these are the things that they won't need for the main documentary. I think that that was the purpose. And then, as I've said, the shots are super super tight. This is one of the scenes that I really love when J Hope asked for his honey bag. um and then they came out and it was like the Tweety bird bag. I think I laughed so hard because you would think like it's like a Louis Vuitton bag or something. But no, it was a Tweety bird or whatever that is, a duck or something. And I do think that it was very poetic that while he's being handed the bag with a duck in front, there's Jimin behind there's also a duck. So I just super love that scene. And everyone actually kind of noticed it like, wow, that's a nice bag right there. But it was just funny that that was the kind of bag that he had. Um, that it's just I can't imagine that he would not bring like a gray one or something. Why would he get that? I know that he explained it. He said that he actually got it from his mom's house and was like, "Oh, that's my honey bag." But he does not. Oh my God, does not care how it's gonna reflect on him. And it's all the conversation is all about the honey. So it's actually making me research about the benefits of honey. Well, of course, we all know that it's actually really good for the body. But it's actually nice that they have this like new obsession behind the new obsession in the room. And then there's actually something very cultural in here when he said I think I did mention to you guys, right, that they have their own personal assistants. I think it's that guy for J Hope. That's his PA. That works for him directly. It's easily identifiable among the luggage. Okay. And then there's a cultural element in here. So when he was saying like, um, so they were asking him like, are you running low? If you're running low, we're not gonna get any. And he said, no, I actually brought it for the entire team. So in I don't know how it is in Western countries, but like as a natural thing. But in Eastern countries, in Asian countries, it's actually very impolite to say no to a gift. So you have to accept it. You can't say no to a gift. You can't say no. The only time that it's acceptable to actually accept a gift, well, I guess it's kind of similar to Western customs, right? But the only time it is acceptable to say no to a gift is when you're a public official and a citizen actually is giving you a gift because you're not supposed to accept that. Other than that, if someone says like I did this for you, you're gonna have to like make it worth it, because if you don't, then you're actually disrespecting the efforts of the other person. So when he said I actually brought it for everybody, and Jin said, okay, well then I'm we can't disrespect this, we're gonna have to eat this, because it's very cultural for them. It's a very important cultural element. I also love how RM actually asked J Hope if his headache was actually okay, because you know that they keep tabs of each other, like how they feel. They remember those things, and then they care. They show that they care. So that was like a small detail that I just appreciated. Kind of like it kind of shows you how they are to each other. They're very sweet. Um, yes, each one has their own manager who's like their personal assistant. So this is outside of the manager. Just they have like their own personal assistant. Someone that works for them. I was thinking they have their own manager, but on SM social media people kept saying no they don't. So it's great to confirm that they do, and it's like the guy works for him. It doesn't work for Big Hit. I only see sketch that 40-minute long, not for 14 minutes, so I'm missing something. I only see that 40 minutes long, not one for 14, no, 40. 40. Okay. All right. Am I live now? Yes, I'm live. Okay, so I love that question. Like when RM asked, like, how's your headache? Just something sweet. And this, when he said this, when Jimin said he plans everything 2 years in advance, the first thing that came into my head, oh, he's gonna have a tour in 2 years. Because I felt like this is a sign that it's actually that he's already planning his solo release and he's gonna tour in 2 years. I don't know why that came into my head, but I just thought like, he's touring in 2 years. So I was thinking like of course, he's gonna finish the tour, which is gonna go all the way until 2027, and then he's gonna start preparing for the release of his album and then tour. So probably I thought, well, maybe 2028, maybe. So they're probably booking the venues already. It's for the A Brown. That's weird that people on social media don't think that they do. We see them in their videos. Okay. Um so yeah, that was the first thing that I realized. I thought Jimin was actually hinting on something, like not that he's hinting for something in the future, but in the past. So I thought maybe when he did his tour, he planned it before he actually entered the military. Like he knew he was gonna do it when he entered the military, right outside, right after getting discharged. He kind of knew that he was going to start he's going to release some singles maybe and then start the tour. So I thought, yeah, maybe we're going to do that. And food, you can't accept food from strangers or fans. Oh yeah, so there was one incident in K-pop where someone gave Yuno, the one of the members of TVXQ, um drinks, and because it's customary for them to actually accept gifts, and Yuna is just really nice to his fans, he actually accepted it and drank it in front of the person, and it was poison. It was poison. So he yeah. So of course, obviously he survived, but that was like also a turning point in Korea ever since they became very, very, very strict when it comes to accepting food as gift. Okay, I thought it was glue, something like that. Yeah, glue or poison. Hope that not went to jail. I don't think they caught her. I don't think so. Um, okay, so that's my guess. I think he's gonna tour it 2 years from He's probably planning. He already said that he scheduled a session. So that's one clue. So he's probably releasing something. I think he's going to be releasing an album for sure because he didn't release one before his tour, right? And so I thought maybe he's going to be releasing a new album that will contribute to the tour. That's what he's going to be performing for when he does the tour. And because he can't tour on 2027, because this tour is going all the way to 2027, then I'm guessing 2028. And then add to that what Jimin said, then yeah, I think he's going to go on tour. Okay. I don't know how many groups you guys follow, how many documentaries you actually watch of these different groups doing their shows or other things. As you know, I've been a fan of K-pop since second gen. I guess TVXQ was the one where was actually one of the first groups that I liked. And so I've watched so many like pre-show routine that these groups have or had when they were still active. And many of these groups, once they get to third, fourth year, they don't do this pre team cheer anymore. So seeing them do this and seeing that it's still the seven of them, it's heartwarming for me. Because if you would remember, there have been several other celebrities who talked about, how BTS really genuinely like each other, unlike other groups. That's actually one of the signs. And it's not even like, I know some people are going to say, well, maybe they just cut it out in the documentary. That's obviously 100% possible. Absolutely, that could happen. But usually, because these agencies sell the friendship and the family angle, things like this, they don't fail to show. So, which leads me to think it's just not there anymore. And then even the way the group would actually here, they would actually eat together. That does not happen a lot if you watch the documentaries or behind the scenes of other groups. Again, I'm acknowledging that it could be just that it's not being shown, but it's less likely because they like selling the family friendship bond. That's part of what attracts the fans. Okay. They usually go in units, like eventually many of these groups, there are certain pairings or certain units that become closer, and those people would actually stick together. Um, that was very evident in this other group that just not gonna say the name because I don't want to invite haters, but so there's this other group who just released some behind the scenes several days ago, and you can actually see there like how there were units within the group. Okay. Waiting for the four that haven't held a solo tour to have theirs. I am enjoying the different styles. I also can't wait. I can't wait. I'm that will definitely for sure the four members that haven't done it will. I think it's just gonna they will differ in the type of tour that they're gonna be doing and the size of the tour, but I think they will be touring. Um, Jin might not tour for a while. I know that because that's what he said. He said that he's not interested in pursuing solo activities. He did say that he will if there is like a vacant time and the others are not like doing anything. They then probably he would do it to give something to armies. Let's see. But also, I think he's becoming busier and busier with all the businesses that he's putting up. Okay. Um Only BTS, 7 Korean men get my okay. G Collins, you. I'm not sure what it is that you're asking. I'm assuming that you did not see the documentary. Follow their YouTube channel, Bangtan TV. Okay, so yeah, I think it's gonna do. They're gonna several of them will definitely tour 2028, 2029. So I think they're gonna take a rest from touring as a group. They might release a single every now and then, but let the different members to do their solo thing and then come back together again for a tour. Okay, so that just so I'm assuming this was like really revealing for me when they were telling V like that part in that like in the beginning of the set, can you just not do it and just stare at the camera um during the hooligan part, and then V kind of explained that well he just didn't know what to do because the camera was still on him. It was like I don't know, there's just like the camera was still on me. It felt like I had to do something. It was just like I remember V saying that he feels more comfortable just performing like that he would do day in and day out. um when was that when they said when they went to the I think when they went to the Mexico palace, right? He said he felt nervous and he felt like, why don't you just, was I correct? Like he said, like just make me perform rather than do this. I don't feel comfortable. Of course, he warmed up to it. That's not a question. But it was just so human to actually see somebody like him who's been living this life for 12 years and to say like, I don't know, the camera was on me. I don't know what to do. It was just so honest of him. Like I don't necessarily like that. It's just that the camera was on me. It was very, very human. I think RM will be the first, followed by Jimin and JK. Followed by Jimin and shortly JK and V, I guess. Maybe. I mean, RM definitely is the one that has enough in his arsenal for a full tour because how many 4 albums he's already released. So yeah, I think he's a big candidate for that. I do think he's gonna make it a bit more intimate just because of the nature of his music. So he might, I mean, he might go band. I don't know. So if like in terms of the size of the music, the discography, he has that. The others will have to release a full album first because they wouldn't have enough songs and then tour. So that would probably be like, and like RM, he can just go okay tour because he has enough already. So while the rest will have to release an album first. I think the Macne will tour together. That will be riot. It'll be so much fun if they tour together. I think it'll be like half laughing for that. Okay. And then the one of the major changes I actually saw, if you go back to their at least it only appears this way, but if you go back to um their previous documentaries, there seems to be more overwhelmingly male cat uh, staff members. There used to be more female there. Again, it could be just because the shots are very much picked. Probably they just really wanted to show male, but like in the previous documentaries, if you go back, you would see some of the people that are actually looking after the like the mic and the costumes that they had, that used to be, some of them used to be women. um and we do have like a reasoning for that in the backstage, why we actually prefer having women actually do that. But now it's overwhelmingly male. Again, it could be that that's just the choice of um the shots. It just so happened that they just show male. That it seems to be that there are still women, of course, the makeup artists and the stylists and probably some other staff members, but overwhelmingly male. It could also be that because the tour is now operating at a different level, and then they have their own personal assistants now, so they probably, I mean, you also have to consider what's comfortable for the assistants as well. Um, I was thinking about that too. I feel JK may team up. He likes having company. I don't think JK will like touring by himself. He's gonna surprise you because remember, Jungkook did not wanna release an album, a solo album. He said he was really having so much fun doing just resting all by himself, and I understand perfectly fine. You know, he's been grinding on this since he was like 14. So I guess when he finally had that time to rest, it was like, oh my god, this is like a good life. I have money. I'm young. I can just do whatever I want. I mean, if I was in his position, who knows, right? But and then he was given a song, and it was just like, ah, I like this. So he'll surprise you. But having the matinee line is just going to be absolutely hilarious without one of the Youngs trying to to manage them. Oh my gosh, um it's going to be hilarious. Okay. And then the other thing is that, so for the technical requirements, because do remember that when they change their clothing, they put away everything, right? The mic, everything. So someone has to keep tabs of that. Someone has to actually organize that, make sure that Suga's everything will be in one place so that when he's ready after he's dressed up, then he can just grab it or someone can just grab it and give it to him. So they do have their own technical assistants at the backstage. So there's one person that's waiting for that's assigned to one person, and that person's job is to make sure that they get everything from Suga or from one member. And the ideal part is that one of the things that we always say in the backstage is that don't rely on the talent or the artist to recognize you. It is your job to run after the artist and get it from that person. Because when you're the artist, you're actually not thinking about anything else. You're not thinking about, like, oh, I need to keep all of my gears together. You're not thinking of that. You're just thinking about what you need to do next. And the thing that they need to do next is to actually change their clothing. So they have to rush to their own dressing room. So for now, they have their own dressing room now. They have to rush their own dressing room change. And the last thing that you should be asking them to do is try to remember where they put all of their gears. So it's the responsibility of the person that's assigned to that act or to that person to get the gears that they needed. Okay. So so I it's this is one of the examples that I have when I say it's so tight, like the shots are so tight, you can barely see anything. And that's probably by design. But this actually demonstrates what the order of actually what happens at the backstage. So they just like throw everything away, including their jewelry. So remember there was a scene when I think it was Jimin who was choosing some of the rings, and he was like going through all the rings together. So that's another thing. If they have, I don't know if those are his personal stuff or whatever. If that is his personal stuff, then the personal assistant is actually assigned to that. But regardless, it's the responsibility of the staff members to make sure that they know where the act or the artist is actually putting all of the stuff that they're taking out, so that when they need it, someone can just hand it to them. Um, okay. Jin seems to have a small fortune in jewelry. So this was one of the funniest things for me when he said that you guys went so hard freestyling at the dance break. I think in Buddy to Buddy, a lot of people don't realize that they actually are. This is harder for their body. One of the things that I've realized is actually because they tend to go harder when they're freestyling. It's becoming like they are actually getting more tired because they don't have a choreography. So I guess you can say that it's a different kind of challenge, but you can see that even the non-dancers are actually noticing just how hard the dancers are working. Like they're really giving it all to the point that he felt like RM said, like, I need to do something as well because all of you are doing that. Are you okay? So this was not an easier option for them. This is way harder for their body as well. Especially Jimin, because the way that he's just jumping around, my God. I mean, I hope he's getting therapy. Do you want to go down? Okay. You say bye bye. Say bye bye to everybody. You say bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Good boy. Okay. You want to go out? Okay. I'm just going to open the door. You don't want to go out? Okay. He doesn't want to go out. He just wants to go to his bed. Okay. Um Yeah, so this is not an easier option for them. I guess it's a different kind of challenge, but both are difficult, whether you do choreography, because they're not really doing easy choreography. So it's a different kind of challenge. But for people, if like there are people that are saying that they took the easier way out, they're like, no, they're not. It's actually tiring them out even more because the tendency is to just actually dance harder. When he said like it actually makes me feel like also need to do something, J Hope was like, I need to watch what it is that you're going to do. I don't know what you're gonna do, but I need to watch this. Okay, yeah, yeah. But if anyone says that, just like no, absolutely not. They're actually this is harder for their body. So another thing is that so it seems that whenever they go to a new venue, a new date, then they do an actual sound check. This is when they actually go on stage without the fans and they do a run through. So several reasons for that. I think if you would remember, um, several probably months ago, a month ago, or maybe more, I told you that they actually have two to three of this set, two to three copies, one to two copies of the original set. And that is because you don't want to be relying on one set to transport that into 52 different states, or how many states it is that you're going to be doing. That's risky. If something goes wrong, then you don't have a concert. But more importantly, it's for time. You want it to be very efficient. And many of these parts are actually transported via trucks. You can't fly them. And so it's strategic as to where the set is going to come from. So so it's different. No two things are exactly alike. So it's for them to actually get comfortable in the set that they're performing on. And then the other thing is that if you would remember, I think it's the next one. V said, "Oh, the feedback. Yeah, it's here. Like, oh, the feedback is different. Like, V actually said that. Like, there's an echo, and so things like that affects how they perform, and they need to know all of that because they need to adjust or at least know what it is to expect when they go on stage. And that's something they would not know if they did not go and do a sound check, an actual sound check when they go to a new place. Now in the succeeding sound checks and the succeeding days, then it's okay because everything they know everything already. But I believe people see what they want to see. Yes. Okay. Okay, so that's the explanation. There, whenever they do a new city, they do an actual sound check. This thing, this stretch that Jimin is doing is super hard. So I used to do yoga. It looks simple, but they are. It's very hard. Jungkook is actually able to execute a little of it, not a little, but as you heard it, the instructor actually said you need to push your butt out a little more, and he said it actually hurts my knees because it's super hard. It actually looks very simple, but it's hard. And it seems that all Jimin's workout is really different from everybody else because he's more concerned about preserving his flexibility. I don't think he's trying to really like bulk up the way the others are trying to do. I think he's concerned more about maintaining that flexibility because he needs to be able to he needs to be able to jump around. And one of the secrets of his dancing, why it actually is captivating, is because of his flexibility. And then he has a natural like roll in his body, but it's really his flexibility that makes him different from the rest, so he needs to actually keep that. um that was in El Paso where the stage is built into the mountain. It actually made me curious about like how it is to stand there and like see the acoustic because he was like V was like, oh, it's so different, the feedback is so different. um so and they still are making adjustments, right? So what, halfway into their North American Act 1 tour, and they were still making adjustments. I think it's something that they're going to be doing. There's another segment here when Jungkook actually said like he's enjoying the tour immensely. He said, I'm really enjoying the tour, but he kind of wants to change things up a little bit. So I think at some point we can expect that they're gonna shuffle things a little bit just to make it different for them. Hi, just the tea, please. We need to start getting ready at around the time Jimin finishes with the water. Yeah. So I think it's the next one when Jungkook said, um, I love this part when they were hyping each other up, trying to get their blood going, the circulation of their blood going for when they are on stage. And then the other thing is, I wonder how they feel. This is not something that we will ever like know. But I just wonder how do they feel knowing that there's like 3,000 people every show and everything is relying on them, right? You have 3,000 people with varying expertise, and they're all relying on you. Like there are great set designers and engineers and directors, but at the end of it, if you don't have a great artist, nothing happens. So I was just thinking like, how does it actually feel to be surrounded by thousands and thousands of people knowing that they're traveling all over the world for you to make this happen? um and that actually made me kind of appreciate that they have each other, because it's overwhelming when it's just one person, when everything is just dependent on you. uh, yeah, and I kind of felt that here because when they were hyping each other up, you can kind of feel that, oh, they're at least they're together. Like they're bouncing the energy off each other. I love that Tay, JK, and Hobie have gotten into the exercising together. Yeah, yeah, they've become workout buddies. The when they said, so V said that RM likes working out alone, which I thought was kind of odd because I guess not odd, but he's extroverted. So I thought that if there's anybody who would want company during a workout, it would be him. And then Suga works out with the crew, and Jimin works. He said that Jimin's workout is just different, that he can't do it. So I guess he works out with someone else, maybe with an instructor. It's just because it's designed differently. I think, but it's just interesting on how the dynamics actually work, like the way that they in this tour, like the way that they've established certain routines that work for them. I feel that tight shots are because they may not want to show the actual documentary filming the crew. Well, that's one, but I do think it's because there's a larger story to tell, and probably to avoid some things in the dressing room. I mean, the green room, you certainly some things there you don't want others to see. Okay, what if the seller runs out of it now? This is a guy who's very much aware of their brand power. When he said we've talked so much about honey that the seller might actually run out of it now. It's like, okay, so you know that you can actually clean an inventory. So that's the first thing in my mind. Like, this is a guy who's very much aware of his brand power. um okay, next, the Maknae loves their hoba. Yeah, he did say that he's the leader of the Maknae line. And this was one of the funniest part. I don't know what these two were doing. Okay, so now we know that the drone part was actually the idea of the director. So he suggested to Jungkook for Jungkook to actually grab the the drone in every show and then also eventually let it go. So now we know that. But I just thought, number one, I don't know if you've ever flown a drone. The controller of the drone has to be super skilled. And then also it has to be in perfect coordination with Jungkook because he cannot grab the drone when I mean the controller of the drone cannot control the drone while Jungkook is still holding it, or it can actually mess up Jungkook if he flies it the wrong way or whatever. So it has to be perfectly timed. So kudos to both. I just found this part really, really funny because I don't know what they were doing. Like, what the hell are you trying to do? um, okay, if he can fly over the crowd, then he might as well. Namjoon seems like an extroverted who prefers solo time. He gets energy just being around people without interacting with them. Probably, probably. Um, what was this? Why did I put this? Okay, okay, sorry. All right. So, why did I put this? Oh, when they were playing around with their chant. This was the part when they were trying to put their hand over each other, and it was like, can you do it already? Again, if you've seen the documentary of other groups, you would know how rare this is for them to still do their chant before a show, to still gather at the green room and do things with each other. It's super rare, super rare. So I'm not going to name names of what groups I've actually watched, but this is rare. There are so many things happening here. I actually did not realize that this guy was doing some physical therapy for Jungkook. Because I thought initially I was like, what was he doing there? And then I was like, oh, he's probably like repairing the that thing in front of them. And then I realized he was actually holding Jungkook's feet or foot. So I thought, he's doing PT on Jungkook. There was just so many things happening. So they have a team of PT and trainers that are actually flying with them and also nutritionists. So this is not your ordinary tour where people are just like, because they need it. They need the PT, they need the nutritionists, and they need the trainers with them. So they have a crew that's actually flying for them, that takes care of all of these things. So spill the tea I can't. In the members only live stream. So thanks for the stream. Bye, Lorena. See you next time. So it's aside from this, they also have a Cairo that's flying with them, several nutritionists flying with them because they have different diets. And then they also have the trainers with them. And then because they have different types of workout, they have different types of trainers that are flying with them. The most unique, I would say, is of course Jimin, because his training is a little different from the rest. They all have different trainings, by the way, but his is really more focused on flexibility. So it's more focused on stamina. Someone explained it to me like a I don't know if there's anyone here who's actually a professor or trainer. They said that when you're sort of more concentrated on becoming lean and focusing on your flexibility, you tend to lift lighter weight but more repetition. I don't know if that's true. If you work for BTS, you wouldn't have time for fangirling. I hope you don't hire Harris. No, you don't have time for fangirling. And also, just seeing them, there was actually someone on Tumblr several years ago that I follow, and he is one of the crew that was getting hired whenever they do shows in the US. And he said that one of the things that I will try, I think I still follow this guy. He said that one of the things that you kind of observe with BTS is that they work so hard that it's kind of, if you have some any kind of shame and pride in your body, you're going to try and work just as hard because you will never see anybody working as hard as they are. That is kind of embarrassing if you don't give it your all, because you see that the main artists are working this much. So I'll see if I still follow him. He actually is like said several stories before um about working with BTS. All good, of course. And he knows to set boundaries. Like if someone asks him a question and it's like that, no, that's not something I'm gonna talk about. I'll see if I still follow him. I think I still do. Okay. So yeah, as you can see, like here again, there is someone who's following them constantly to make sure that whatever it is that they put down, someone's gonna pick up, because that's the last thing that you want for the artist to have to remember where they disposed some of something. Leading by example, yeah. So many sing along; they are ready to be definitely. Okay. They were talking about whether they should speak their language, the language of the country they're in, and also whenever they do the sing along, if they should actually sing. And I think was it Jungkook or Jimin um that said something like, no, we have to do it because whatever, I guess it's Jimin, whatever it is that we do, they will follow. So he was like saying, let's actually sing and not just let the crowd do it. Okay, concert time and watch concert on TV. Okay. Oh yeah, oh guys, if you want to watch their concert, they said it's on already. Where is it in Discord? Um Oh, I love the jacket. Is it on Discord one? So I love the jacket of Mystico, or maybe it's in this. I don't know if someone's actually streaming it on Discord. So I love the jacket that Mystico actually gave them. Um, I don't know who actually ended up wearing it during the concert. I can't remember. Was it Jin who actually ended up wearing? Okay, so they're streaming it on our Discord if you want to watch the concert. Um, is it still raining? Okay, I absolutely love the jacket. I wish someone Jin wore it. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I thought I remember. So it's on the AEC. So you go to the Discord and of Asian Entertainment and Culture, and you'll see it there. Mystico's daughter is actually an army. Yeah, Jin. This is again. This is so rare. I can give you some links, but you will see in the documentaries of other groups, they rarely spend time together outside of the time that they're actually on stage. There's actually this group where one or two members would actually arrive just right on time when they have to dress up, get their makeup done, and then go on stage and not spend any time with the rest of the members. And that's kind of how you know that. And I'm not saying that they should spend time with each other. I mean, we all have boundaries, and probably that's the boundary of that member. It's just that what I'm saying is that it comes naturally for BTS to continue spending time with each other, even when they don't have to. Because they can go to their own green room and sleep or have their meal there, but they still choose to actually be with each other. Okay. Um Jin actually wore it. Yeah. Well, it fits him. It's very much. And also when they were watching the wrestling, he was the one who was actually really into it. Okay, so okay, next. They gravitate to each other. Yes, absolutely. Okay, next. So I think this was the part when they were trying to mess up the not really mess up, but they were being playful when they were doing their cheering. And then would make a mistake today. So I was kind of surprised when I think it was Jungkook he was talking with, but when he said seriously that break was too long, and then I thought was it like the 2 week break that they had, and then I realized it was the 5 day break that they had, and Jungkook was saying like that was too long of a break. So so I guess because as you know in the previous tours that they had, it would be like almost zero rest. They would perform all weekends and they'll have like at most 2 days or 3 days. But then during that period, they will have something to do. They would either have press appearance, an interview, brand activities or whatever. You want to go out? Okay. You want to go out or you want to come back here? This is kind of odd because he wants to come back on my lap. He's back. You say hi first. Why did you come back? You usually don't do that. What's up with you? Hmm? Say hi to them. You tell them I'm back. Kiss. He did not kiss me. Okay. Just you rest there. Even though I can't feel my legs when you're there. Okay. Um, yeah, so that I think they are really scheduling this very very differently to allow the boys to have some sort of a life during the tour. I think it's kind of working because even they are saying like, well, that 5 day break is too much. It's just like too much. And I do remember that then when they went back to Korea, the first thing that Jungkook did was set up his streaming setup, reset up his streaming setup, and then go stream. And I was like, this guy actually needs to do something. You can't just let him off. Like I don't think we all know, and he said this before, that he's not really the kind of guy that would go around and just explore the city or whatever. He's not that type. But he loves, I guess, gaming and spending time with friends online or probably having friends over or just streaming for armies. That I think that if he does decide to actually take a break, he's gonna just regularly stream, and we're gonna have to be ready for his 2 hour, 3 hour, 5 hour stream. That's going to be a lot of work for High Boy. So I hope he's ready for Jungkook. If Jungkook decides to take a break, he's most likely going to he's most likely going to do streams. Okay. Like 5 hours, 6 hours. Good luck, High Boy. Okay. I love the two of them together. Definitely really want to for them to do something. I don't know, like even if it's just like a weekend or something. I know that they've talked about doing Run BTS and doing units, right? Maybe like two members will do this, three members will do this. So I hope that if they don't do a separate show on their own, maybe they can do an episode of Run BTS, just the two of them. I think it's just going to be hilarious just to watch them. And actually, Jungkook ending up being the older one of the two. So I hope they do. They're so fun to watch when they are together. They're like, I don't know, just they're perfect together. They're perfect. I think they're like, I don't know, soulmates or something. They're just perfect together. I really want them to do at least a Run BTS episode. Okay. Maybe when they do their January break, they have 1 month of no activity. That's actually because they have to do some work for their brands and probably also to take a break um, and do some more projects for BTS as well. So I hope maybe in that span of time, they're going to do something. Um, are you okay? Okay. All right. So if that happens, I'm going to be one of the, or maybe they can tour together. How's that? Speaking of which, real Tom and Jerry, they have like sibling. I know, right? It's just so fun watching them. Sugar with any kind of animal is always a pleasure to watch, and watching him interact with the dog. So this is the same dog that actually the road manager in the tour manager, not the road manager, the tour manager had in their Love Yourself era. So she had a dog, Love Yourself era, and then PTD. So it's the same dog. So she's a little older now, but she brings him around. He is a certified emotional support dog. So he can be brought around anywhere. And besides, he's the tour. I mean, she's the tour manager. She can bring her pet around. So, but I absolutely love seeing Suga with any kind of animal, but especially with Misty, I think is the name of the dog. Stony, there you go. Stony is the dog. If Jungkook solo stands don't chew Jin up, why? Aren't do they also beef with Jin? I thought they only beef with the Maknae line. They also beef with Jin, or they beef with anybody. Their solo stands. I thought that they only beef with the Maknae line. So here he actually said it. The tour hasn't been particularly exhausting, right? He said It's not been particularly exhausting or anything, but it's very long. And they actually responded to him, well, it is long. It doesn't seem long. It's actually really long. It's more than a year. My guess is that they might actually end the tour. So they will definitely end the tour, have an encore in South Korea. They always do that. I don't blame them. That is still their country. But my guess would be that right around June, they'll probably have the Festa as the closing concert. The encore concert would also be the Festa for 2027. So their CEO said that, the Hype CEO said that there still are some dates that they haven't announced for BTS. So two things. It's either they're going to be doing more Asian dates or Middle East and Africa, add Middle East and Africa, or those unannounced dates would be the encore. So right now the last date is March. So that leaves April, May, and June. So those 3 months might be their encore and perform on some other states that they've already performed in. Most likely, definitely go back to Mexico because they love that place. And then maybe do Wembley for 2, 3 nights, maybe four, and then go back to South Korea. And of course, some dates in North America. So that's my guess. They either do Africa, Middle East, and then some more dates in Asia, or they start the encore. I think they're waiting to see how Middle East settles. Probably India, especially now that um, they now have the India. They now have Hybe India. Are there like huge stadiums in India, like as big as the ones that they're playing in? Yeah, Middle East is still tricky. Well, they've done Saudi before, Saudi Arabia. They can definitely do Dubai. So I think that's not a problem. If they do Dubai, I'll definitely go. I have a cousin there. So I'll get her to buy tickets and stuff, and then I'm gonna go and watch. But Dubai, that UAE part, that's not a problem for them. Saudi is not a problem. They've been there once, so I think it is. Qatar, as we know, is very possible. Jungkook has already performed there, so there's a possibility that they will perform. I think they'll do some more European cities, probably, but might be a semi-residency in Wembley, maybe a semi-residency. Yes, India has a big stadium. Oh, okay. Well, then yeah, probably they will. Jungkook knows his limit. He wouldn't piggyback ride Jin if he has a problem. Jungkook is almost 30 and his fans will still treat him like a baby. Don't we all? But I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Um, okay. And then I love how Suga was still actually very much caring for Jungkook when he realized that Jungkook was not eating all that much. He was like, "What? Why did you not eat?" I love how he was still like being a young to Jungkook, knowing that Jungkook has a big appetite. I guess it was like, "Why are you not eating that much?" The other thing is, Jin has this habit of actually doing this when he wears his glasses, right? Or when he fixes it. I'm, I wonder, I don't know, maybe I've missed it. I wonder if he is actually aware that he's doing that to now. Because I know that he used to do it before just because it was like a joke or something. I don't know if he has developed that as a habit or is something that he's still aware he's doing it. Um, I hope they come to Vancouver. I hope so too. They notice all the details about each other. They pay attention. I think the Middle East would be an issue until the Middle East settles down. I don't think they would not go for safety. I think you think that they will not go for safety. Okay, got it. Got it. It's Jungkook's second time eating. This is one of the hilarious parts to me. So, okay, you have this guy that's busy working out. We know that he has his own routine and his workouts are designed different. Okay. And you have the dance leader approaching him and saying, "Aren't you crouching too low?" Very carefully. It's like, "Adrian, Aren't you crouching too low?" Not crouching, but crouching too low during that part. And Jimin said like, okay, if you want me to adjust, I'll adjust. I won't crouch that low. And then RM was like, oh, it had to be Hobie to actually say it, because if I said it to him, he's gonna say something like, well, you're probably not crouching enough. Which very much sounds like Jimin. This to a lot of baby armies is still a surprise, but Jimin is sassy. He's very sassy. For those who don't know, if you're a baby army, he's very sassy. He is known as, along with Yoongi, is actually known as the Slytherin in the group. So yes, he is. When he asks, he's very sweet. He's a very sweet guy, but he can go toe to toe to when it comes to divaness. When it comes to sassiness, he can go toe to toe with anybody. So when RM said that, I kind of understood what he said. Maybe Jimin can be sassy with him. It's like, no, you're not crouching. You're not crouching enough. But also, I kind of reviewed the clip that he was talking about. So I guess it's because Jimin actually crouches all the way down and the rest don't. And I think it's just a difference in how they interpreted the dance. Because to me, that part was them shrinking below the water, like under the water, below the surface. So I think that's why he was crouching all the way down. And the others probably interpreted it as them actually staying afloat. So I think it's just a difference in interpretation. Jimin's the emotional support of the Tani. I love his sassy, sweet side. I know, like, there's still a lot of armies that are like, no, Jimin will not say that because he's the sweetest. He is very sweet, but he's very sassy. I know. I mean, that's why he was actually assigned as a Slytherin, and he himself has actually declared him a Slytherin. He said he's a Slytherin. He said his favorite house is actually a Slytherin. It's because he's very sassy. You can't. He's not a pushover. He still needs to be the same. He's not a pushover. If you think that is the case, then I don't know. You're following the wrong group. Okay, maybe you're not crouching enough. Just Arimo said. And then Jimin was like, what are you talking about? You never said anything to me. It was like the funniest part. I know that a lot of like so toxic solos were making an issue out of it. I don't care. It was still one of the funniest parts in the entire sketch that they released. Okay. Are you okay, baby? Okay, next. Still needs to be the same. Jimmy Fallon showed Jim and Sassy. No, yeah, he is very sassy. Okay, next. Oh, when Jimin was sick. They're so in tune with each other's feelings. The other one was RM with Hobie, and now it's Jungkook with Jimin. Like I heard he was actually sick. So we knew that for those that were in Vegas, we knew that because someone actually said it, right? On stage when they said that Jimin was actually not feeling well. It did not show. He performed phenomenal. You wouldn't even think, unless someone actually said it, no one would have thought that he was actually sick. So just goes to show you the kind of commitment that they have. But this specific one shows you added to RM talk asking J Hope about how he felt about his coughing, and he said, "No, I'm better now." Gives you an idea how attuned they are with each other's health. Okay, let me take this out. Jimin did say that he actually got IV drips, so he should be fine now. And he was. I mean, just based off his performance, it was phenomenal in his last day in Las Vegas. Okay, so I think this was the part when Jungkook was. So if you would remember, Suga asked him why he wasn't eating all that much. It was because it was his second meal. The first time was this one when he was eating alone. He kept on eating. And then when he was eating with Suga was like, why aren't you eating all that much? And Jungkook just said, that was my second lunch. It wasn't like I was not eating a lot at all. It was my second lunch. Okay. And this made me laugh because that part when he was saying, when RM would scream born in Korea, Jin heard it as good morning to Korea. And Jin was like, I thought you were saying good morning to Korea. And Aram was like, well, it still would have made sense because it would be morning in Korea. It was so funny. Oh my God. Okay. Um, There's a fan chant for butter that I do because it's fun and everyone else just singing the English lyrics. That was so funny. Absolutely. It was like when I when you said it, was like, oh, that's why I keep on wondering why you keep on saying good morning Korea. Which would have made sense according to RM because it would be morning in Korea when they perform in the evening in another country. Okay. All right, so let's go for some updates. Jonghyun of Twice is the first one to leave JYP. She formally announced it. Oh, by the way, do you have questions? That reminds me, what are they saying before Mike will made it? What do you mean? In body to body? No, hooligan? JK can eat. Mom would say he has hollow legs. Blah, fine. That what do they put in the IV drip? So there are two ways on this is a well like kept secret in many performers. So when they can't when they lose their voice, for example, they can get shots, and but you can't do it consecutive days. So that shot is like it's not hormone. There's something that it'll come to me, but it is going to make your voice feel better. Um, but you can't do it consecutive days. So so cortisone, no, it's not cortisone. It's like a drip. I learned about that because there is an IV room near my home. So I learned about that. Steroids, there we go. So in America, that's very common. I don't think it is common in the US. I mean, in Korea, there's a lot of like stuff that we allow here in the US that are like normal in the US but not allowed in Korea. Wait, baby, let me shift my leg because I have absolutely no feeling on my legs anymore. Okay, there you go. Okay, all right. You okay? You okay? Okay. Thank you so much. So steroids, they get steroid shots and then something for their voice, especially when they lose it. But you can't do that consecutively. So we worked with this for one of our campaigns. We worked with a rock star, just the vocalist, not the entire band. But on the day of the shoot, he lost his voice because he flew in from another country and we only had one day of shoot with him. So um we don't know what to do because we needed his voice for the shoot. So we he asked, so and then someone, I think it was his manager who asked, he said he can get steroids and whatever this other shot, and it was like I don't know what that is. Number one. And it's like, where second is that is it legal here in the country in the Philippines, and then third is, if it is legal, where can I get it? And so the manager said, let me first ask someone in the management because they're not a Philippine based band. So they called someone and they were like, give me, because they have a show 2 days after that day of the shoot. They have a concert. And so they were being careful because if he doesn't have a voice on the concert itself, that's going to be a disaster because he was the vocalist. And so, they were checking with the doctors whether they can actually do it given that they have a show 2 days after. And then, I don't know, 15 minutes passed and then they got a go signal. They said it's okay. He got a shot. He got his voice back. So I don't know what it is. They had it. The manager already had it with him. And I was like, just let's make sure that this is legal here in the Philippines. It was. But yeah, so they can get shots like that. But I don't think they do that in South Korea. I think the drip that he was actually getting was just vitamins or something. So, but that's like a secret. Not really a secret, but no one really talks about that in the music industry. Ear drummer says Mike will made it. It's company. Ear drummers. Okay. All right. Okay, so Jonghyun of Twice is leaving JYP. So she formally announced it. She wrote a letter to her fans. JYP hasn't actually released a formal statement, but she already had. Oh wait, JYP did release a statement, but they sent it to different publications, and then but she did it first. She published the statement on her page and also on Bubble, informing the fans that she's actually leaving JYP, but she's not leaving Twice. So she said that Twice will still be the priority, but she just wanted to try something new. So she's gonna transition into acting. She said that most likely, the only singing or music that she is going to be doing will be for Twice itself. But the rest, she's going to try to go into acting. So she's joining the agency of her sister, Varo Entertainment. They specialize in acting. These are some of the actors that they have, and this is his sister, who's actually an actress. So I'm a little sad because I'm a one. So, but I think it's inevitable. I'm sure that she kind of wants to try something new. She's 29, I think. She was actually my very first bias. Okay, so sad news. I guess a little sad news. Next is TUIDE. So they released their. I don't know if you've actually listened to their song. They released their single "Girls," and they're introducing the members one by one. Now, right after they release the song, there is a producer that works for YG Entertainment. His name is Ricky Luna Music. At least that's his handle. And he's claiming, this is odd. So, kind of pay attention to the way that he actually worded his statement. This is the third time this has happened. I made this demo in April 2026, and a song released today sounds very similar in the chorus and the concept. I don't know if it is coincidence, but I'm starting to think my demos may be getting leaked. I'm sharing both so you can listen and tell me what you think. And he was talking about the girls, the song that was released by TUIDE. So just listen, like, be read carefully the wordings that he did, that he released. And then after, I think, a week or several days, the production company or the management of TUID released a statement saying that we created this song as a team in November 2025, thinking that it would be a great concept for the girls. And so they said that we have no animosity towards any mischaracterizations that may have circulated. We simply want that to be recorded. And then after that, he backtracked and he said that, oh, my post was actually misinterpreted. So this guy said my post was actually misinterpreted. I wasn't accusing anybody. I was just trying to get opinions from my peers. And I was thinking, if you're trying to get opinions from your peers, you can do that. You can do that privately. You can just send them the demo and say, hey, I think this is, or this, do they sound alike? Can you give me your opinion? And if you don't want any kind of publicity, then you would just go to your lawyer. Okay. Exhibit A is the swim demo. If you would remember, they did not force they didn't go to the public first. They just sued. Big hit. I think it's a wrong accusation, but hey, at least they did it the right way. They went to a lawyer. They got it examined by a professional, used that as evidence, and then went to a lawyer. Now, you know that they were actually trying to avoid publicity because if the lawsuits are not public documents, then they wouldn't even actually, no one would actually learn about it. So now it's such an irresponsible thing to do because he works in the industry, in the K-pop industry. He has seen what actually happened to ILIT, and he knows the damage that such a careless statement could actually make. And here he is again. So, and here, not him again, because I don't know, this is probably the first time he's done this. But what I'm saying is, here is another person trying to do the same trick that Min Hee-jin actually used. And then if you go to his post, it does not sound the same. Like, it sounds familiar, but it's not the same. So, I don't know if he got scared that he was going to get sued. But you know how poor of an excuse it was that he offered. That he was actually, oh, it's being misinterpreted. I'm not accusing anybody. I was trying to get opinions from my peers. If you wanted to get opinions from people that are actually knowledgeable about production, they are in your phone book. You would have sent it to them. You would have asked for your opinion. If you work for YG, which he claims to be doing, then you can go to YG and ask for their opinion, and then use those opinions, put that in a formal document, and then sue ABD if you really think that they plagiarized you. Um, so I don't know. Like they are, this is not that it is new, because when SM Entertainment was actually the biggest, they actually experienced the same harassment. It's just that it's a different scale because Hybe is actually bigger. So the harassment is also next level. So it's just that because Hybe is bigger, then the harassment is also bigger. I guess it happens when you become the biggest, you become the target. Okay. I mean, there is nothing new in music. So is the same guy suing for Swim? No, it's different. So this is a different person. The Swim people, the ones that are suing Swim is actually from the US. This guy is from South Korea, as far as I understand. He works for YG Entertainment. So if I'm ABD, I would be suing him to eternity. You can't do that. Only even if it's just to teach people a lesson, like you can't do that. If you have the best of intentions and you really just feel that someone really plagiarize you, you're going to do it the proper way, right? And actually, this is the reason I am going to be releasing a new editorial policy for Asian entertainment and culture when it comes to dealing with minors. But I'll let you know about that in a bit. Okay, so now another big controversy involves Tetris. So Tetris, as you know, is a reporter from Billboard, and he was also the host for the Dream Academy. This is the reality show that put together the six girls of Katseye. Okay. And by the way, Mano has not left Katseye. She's still technically just on hiatus. So if anybody says she's actually left, those are all lies. She's still a member. She's just on hiatus. Okay. Now, um, so someone posted a story on their Instagram account, a story or a reel or something. And this person says that she actually worked with Cat's Eye, and she was explaining that you people should stop sending hate to the five girls, and then explained what actually happened with Mano. And basically, I guess I do feel that she said it very strongly. She probably doesn't like what Mano did or whatever. So the delivery was pretty strong, is my point. But she was actually saying like it was just not a match. Like she needed something that the girls couldn't provide, and so she had to leave. That's basically what the person was saying. Now, a lot of people interpreted what she said to be a diss on Mano. I don't think it is. Probably she's irritated because the girls are getting hate because Mano had to go on a hiatus. But it wasn't a direct hate. Now Tetris actually like, do you want to go down? You say bye bye first. You say bye bye properly. Do you want to go down? Do you want to go out? Okay. I'm gonna open the. What did she actually say? Sorry. So, okay. So, this is part one of what she said. Hi, guys. Considering that I spent some time around the members of Cat's Eye, I really wanted to clarify a few things. A lot of people come here, give their opinions without knowing the whole story, then leave without thinking about the consequences their words can have. Okay. And then on the next page, she said, to be completely honest with you, and based on what I've seen and heard behind the scenes, I don't think Mano will be coming back to the group. From what I understand, working with her was particularly difficult for the entire team. She regularly expressed her need for rest and personal time. There's nothing bad about that. This is me saying there's nothing bad about wanting your personal time. For example, when she worked intensely for a week, she would then ask for a much longer period of rest. This made things more complicated for the team, forced the other girls to work harder, especially when they weren't sure whether Manon would actually be there or not. Okay, and then so what happened was that's exactly what she said. Okay. So those are this is a different post, still from the same person. But what happened was two members of the team, one of which is Tetris, who actually um, served as a host for Dream Academy. And then the other one is Aika, which is one of the dancers. And I think these two others were also dancers, maybe. They liked the post. Um, so so everyone criticized the Tris and the dancer for liking it because they felt it was a like a diss for they were dissing Manon or whatever. And then Tetris said that he actually did not read the entire thing. He saw the first page, which just said like something like that, this one, and that's all he saw. He did not realize that he had to scroll to the next page or swipe to the next page to see what was there. And so he liked it because he thought, yeah, that part is true, because that everyone is just sharing their own opinion without actually knowing the facts. And so he liked it, and then he got criticized for it and then unliked it, but the dancers actually stayed. They did not unlike it. After that, the person posted another message, and this is that message saying that I was just trying to explain things as they really are. Lately on social media, a lot of toxic people have been saying nothing but negative things about the girl since Manon's departure. That's why I explained that Manon's departure had nothing to do with them. I also tried to explain a little bit about their personalities. The only issue with Manon was that she wanted to have more time for herself, and I completely understand that. I understand her, especially considering how intense their training schedule is. Unfortunately, things turned out differently. Mano wanted more time for herself, and that she was removed from the group. That's all. There was never any major conflicts. Um, she was an influencer who made her own schedule. Not sure why the one she who picked her did not see that. Um, yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting personal time. As I've always said, it's just a matter of like consistency, I guess, compatibility of different cultures, right? There are certain cultures who grew up, I often say this, like in certain parts of Asia, they're very focused on work. Like you need to work not just as hard as everybody else, you need to work harder than everybody else. Like that in itself is a sense of pride for a lot of people. So for a lot of Asians, like that is an issue if you're taking more rest time. Again, it's not that it doesn't make it bad. It's just incompatibility in culture. That is it. I guess you can say the same thing. I mean, the kind of culture she grew up in can say the same thing about the other girls. Like, well, that's not healthy what you're doing, right? So it just goes both ways, just because they're not compatible. So this person is announcing Mano being removed from the group before the agency. Got it. Um, yeah. Now yes. So she did not really announce. She just said like they removed. The agency stance is that she's still a member of the group and she's just taking hiatus. Manon also has a different work culture in her country. That is how it was actually explained to me the first time, because in Switzerland they said that it's very, very acceptable in culture in Switzerland to actually just rest, and I think that's healthy. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely good that if you actually need the time of rest, you just go ahead and rest, right? I guess again, it's all just the bottom line is just a compatibility of cultures. Just like no two relationships are alike, because there are some people who likes other people a certain way and others don't, and whatever. It's just that's it. You just need to be able to find the perfect match. Have people speaking so confidently even spent an hour in Switzerland? No, I've worked with Switzerland. With Swiss, not Swiss. I've worked with Swiss before. I actually manage two brands that are Swiss brands. So that's something I know about their culture. Um, the one thing I observe though is that because they have that benefit, I guess, or they have that side of their culture, the other side is that excellence is expected. because you have the freedom to just take all of that rest when you need. You're also then expected to deliver your best when called for, when you're working, basically. And she could do European solo work and go at her own pace. Although the agency has not announced that she has actually left. So she's still a member of Katseye. She's just on a hiatus. So, I mean, we don't know more than the agency. And she herself has actually not announced that she has left the agency, so or left Cat's Eye. So for now, she's still a member of Cat's Eye. She's still just on hiatus. Swiss has precise watchmaking excellence is expected. That's what I just said. Allowing the girls to rest is a good thing, in my opinion. If Hybe forced them to work, it could be a different story. I don't think that Hybe is actually forcing them. Otherwise, they would have sued her, right? They did not sue her. She's just taking a rest because that's what she wants. She did say that she feels supported, so she's being supported in whatever it is that she wants. I guess it's the same thing for um when Yongso actually left Hybe. She was just allowed to leave. No one actually run after her, right? So good. Now the issue here is that it's actually highlighting how personalities would actually have to be careful in who they like and in what they like. So according to Tatrice, he actually did not realize the entire post, that he actually had to swipe, and that's why he liked it. So they have so he decided, he unliked it. He apologized. He said, "Sorry, I did not. I just saw the first image and did not know that there were other things that I need to look at." But he said it was in reference to the first image, which was very, very much um, true. That people kept on putting in their opinions, even though they don't know the whole story. So he apologized for that. Okay. Next, I've already went through the grieving process. She's still a member of Katseye. She has not left. Spotify overtakes Melon in foreign platforms to reshape Korean music streaming. This is actually a big news. As you know, Melon was the unbeatable number one music streaming platform in Korea, and then they dropped to number two because YouTube overtook them. And now they've actually dropped to number three because Spotify actually overtook them. So they're now only the third biggest platform, music platform in South Korea. Now, just to be clear about the entire news, there's actually another study from another marketing agency that still puts Melon as the second biggest streaming platform in South Korea. So there's a conflict in the numbers. Who owns Melon? Kakao. Yeah, Kakao is the one who owns Melon. So so you can see there how they actually overtook Melon. So you have YouTube at the very top because it's fused with YouTube videos, right? And so that's their biggest advantage, because if you play something on video, it actually gets counted as a play in YouTube Studio, in their YouTube Music. So that will forever be their biggest advantage. But now Spotify has actually overtaken, primarily because of their free tier, because people are starting to subscribe to Spotify in Korea because there is a free option to actually do that. And then it's followed by Genie, and it's going to be followed by Philo, I think. Now, this is interesting because for the longest time, you know that Perfect All Kill and All Kill, those are two very, and Real Time All Kill, those are three very important concepts in among K-pop fans in South Korea, because it actually depicts on what the market is listening in South Korea. So a perfect all kill would actually include all the streaming platforms in South Korea. You have to be number one all at the same time among all the platforms at the end of the hour. So if you get that, then you have the perfect all kill. Real time all kill would be sorry, that is real time all kill. Perfect all kill would be at the end of the week. Okay, so aggregated, you have to be number one across all streaming platforms. And that was like a huge thing, if you would remember, because the for the longest time the record holder of the most number of packs, perfect all kill, was BTS for Dynamite, and then New Jeans overtook them. And that was the news release where Min Hee Jin insisted on mentioning BTS. That was it when they took over the perfect all kill. Okay, so this time it's going to be very interesting because the two biggest streaming platforms are not controlled by Korea. So let's see what's going to happen. And then people that are on Spotify and YouTube Music, I are actually um they're kind of a different demographic to a certain extent, because YouTube Music is primarily being used because of YouTube video. And then Spotify is because of their free tier. So we're gonna, and then it's going to be interesting how that's going to be adjusted to fit the perfect all kill and the real time all kill concept, which is a you like that's like a big thing in South Korea if you achieve a perfect all kill and a real time all kill. Okay. Melon's monthly active users. So this there are two researches. One is Wise App Retail, which is a market research company in South Korea. So according to them, YouTube Music has 9.49 million subscribers. Spotify has 6.22 million, and then Melon has 5.93, and then followed by others, Genie and Flow. Okay, and those two are way smaller than Melon. But the other research company still has Melon as number two, and the numbers are huge. The difference is actually huge. They put Spotify at 2.38, while Wise App actually put Spotify at 6.22 million. So that's a lot of difference. But anyway, I don't know what happened, why the kind of methodology that they used, why they still put Spotify at number three. But the bigger question would be why that's actually happening to them. So, according to South Koreans, Melon for the longest time has actually refused innovation, meaning they have refused allowing features that would accommodate foreign listeners, that would accommodate people with foreign numbers, or would incorporate features that would be good for foreign users. And um their reasoning, the reasoning of Melon, is that Melon is for Koreans. Others like Spotify and YouTube, that's for the international market. And so Melon said, that's not our purpose. Our purpose is not to accommodate the global market. We were created specifically for South Koreans. And so we're going to keep the platform Korean. We're not going to translate this professionally or whatever. We're not going to incorporate features that will be more consistent with the needs of foreigners. Not at all. Even if these foreigners are frequently visiting South Korea, they said that they're going to have to adjust to us if they want to be able to use Melon. And because of that, more and more people have actually turned away from them, because even the Koreans felt like, well, that's not our needs anymore. Our needs are not just for Korea, but it's also for the global market. So if you're not going to accommodate that, we're going to transfer to a new platform that will accommodate that. That's why they're actually losing subscribers. Okay. So yeah, it's their refusal to go global. So it's going to be interesting how Melon is actually going to adjust, especially because now SM Entertainment, owned by Kakao Entertainment, is actually trying to plant their feet here in the US. So maybe they're going to make some adjustments and start to actually open their platform. Next news, IFPI AI eligibility. They are allowing songs, AI created songs, to actually be in the IFPI end of the year rankings. However, they still have some conditions, one of which is that it must be, the service itself has to be authorized and lawful. That's one. So you can't mix anything illegal. If you've stolen that sample, you can't do that. You have to have proper permit to be able to use samples if you're using samplings and all of those stuff. Next is that it still has to be sustainably, substantially human made. So it's not that you cannot use AI, but the heart of the song, what's going to make it the song, will have to be human made. So, for example, if the song is popular because of the beat, that has to be human made. If the song is popular because of the lyrics, then that has to be human made. Everything else, because it's not a major selling point, even if the entire beat is actually created by AI, it's okay for as long as the substance of the song is still human made. Okay, so that's two rules. Third rule is that copyright and personality rights must be respected. They cannot just use the AI, the voice of other singers. They have to get permission if they want that. So copyright and personality will have to be respected. And they have to follow the AI platform's own terms. So this is a huge step because this is the first time they're actually coming out with an actual guideline on how they're treating AI created music. How will they know that? How will they know what like what part of the rule it is that you're asking? So huge step for AI. A lot of the so one of the insights that I got is that one of the major concerns of musicians is that many of them are actually utilizing AI primarily because they don't have the money to book a studio or to pay for a session musician so that they can record the material that they want, and some of them just like doing specific things. So now it's actually cheaper for them to tap AI to do something like that. Um, what's going on with armies in the voting block? It seems like it has slipped a little. I don't know what's going on. I also don't know voting block for what. Okay, next. I hope that my news and updates are actually helping you, like, get caught up with what's happening in the industry. Um, and of course it has to be disclosed to the consumers. So if your song is AI assisted or AI generated, you need to disclose that, otherwise you get disqualified automatically. um come 2028 we should be, yes, and then no chart or streaming manipulation. So one of the biggest uses of AI nowadays is the use of is by of streaming. So fraudulent streaming. They're actually using certain programs in order to play the songs continuously, shuffle through different playlists, just fraudulent streaming. So they said that if they prove that you are fraudulently streaming, just as so the system will pick it up and then push it to other and recommend it to other people, then you will be taken out. Okay. Off the IFPI list. You are my sword for all scuttlebutt. Okay, so there are. Oh, YG Entertainment has actually released their Q2 revenue. It's very very interesting. So I'm going to give you some of the major pointers. I think I can do it. We have 8 minutes. This is not a lot. So they actually, you can you see it very clearly? Okay. So for their Q2 2026 revenue for Q2 is 91.9 million, and then their operating profit is 7.8 million, and then their net profit is 6.4 million. Okay, so these are great. I mean, their net profit actually went down 32.8% year on year. So compared to last year, this is way lower. It's actually lower than 32.8 percent. FIFA numbers, I don't think I can make it, but I'll do it for Wednesday. I'll make it the first point of discussion. Okay, so 32.8% down for their year on year for the net profit. And that is primarily because they don't really actually have a lot of major acts for Q2. Not that they don't have a lot. So this is actually one of the weird things that YG has actually been doing for a while. Okay, so they don't have a lot of activities for Blackpink for Q1 of 2026 because they've all gone their own ways. But they did have some concerts up until January of 2026. That is the deadline tour. They had their last concert January of 2026. And then the last quarter of last year for the chunk of the tour. Now, what they like doing is crediting that. So instead of crediting that into the next cycle, so so you do your report for if the concert happens, like for ordinary companies like JYP or even Hybe or even SM Entertainment, if the concert happened in Q4 of 2025, they're going to submit that as a report for Q4 of 2025, exactly when it was supposed to happen. YG doesn't do that. They would usually adjust it the next year or the next whatever, like when they feel like it. I guess I don't know. Maybe because it's the collection. I'm not sure. But it's just odd because they said that they are actually putting in their counting there's some of the revenue, not all, some of the revenue of the world tour, the deadline world tour of Blackpink into Q2. When it didn't happen in Q2, it happened in Q1, at least the last part of their show. So I'm not really sure, but it's a huge part of why they actually recovered. Otherwise, they would have actually gone down way more. They would have actually gone down like maybe more than 50%. But reserving that chunk of earnings for Q2 made it appear as if actually they did better than they actually did. Okay, so just odd the way that he actually does that. Even SM Entertainment, they would credit some of it, I guess, if the collection probably doesn't happen or they fail to get an estimate early, but not the way that he's doing it. Like he always does it. Okay, so this is just the summary. Everything that he does is odd. So this is the summary: revenue, operating, and net profit. As you can see, his net profit actually went down 32.8. The Q2 2025 is the comparison so that you can see how much they earned from 2025. 2025 was actually the golden one of the best years that they had, primarily because they had some activities going in 2025. Okay. Which was the deadline world tour. Okay, next. For sorry, I think that's the same one. Manipulation. Okay, so for Q1 2025, for Q1 2026, they had the world tour going from July 5, 2025, all the way until January 24 to 26 in 2026. So the January part is what he carried over to Q2, which actually made it look like they actually did better. And then he also had he released the album, the Deadline album, February of 2026. And he released that after the tour. Everyone thought that it was going to be his justification to send them to an encore tour. That has not happened, but everyone thought that they were going to actually do that. That's why he decided to release the album after the tour, which was odd because usually you would release an album and then tour so they have something to perform. But what they did was actually just perform the same set that they performed in the Born Pink tour. Okay. So they have been working Baby Monsters to the ground. Like they have never been out of the spotlight since they debuted. And that I think is a clear and we know why, because they knew that after the expiration of the contract of Blackpink, then they wouldn't have the regular earnings that they needed for the company. And so what they did was just regularly and constantly release new music, send them on tour. So that has been happening. They would release a new album, get them some shows in some parts of South Asia, and then release another song, and then sorry, not song, another album, and then go on tour. So that has been their cycle. I think this is their third or second tour. I can't remember since they began, and they're like 3 years old or maybe two. That I think is a clear sign that he's actually changing his business process. So instead of relying on one or two acts, which is what he has always been done, what he has always done, he is now trying to launch as many groups as he can. So after, I think by the end of the year, there will be a boy group and then another girl group. That is the picture that I showed you earlier. So these are the members of the new girl group that he's releasing, and they're all very, very young. So 2012, that would make the girl 14, right? So she's 14 years old and she's singing about like heartbreaks. I'm like, what kind of heartbreak have you experienced at 14 years old? And the other one who's 16 is like acting like all gangsta. I'm like, I don't think you've ever done that, but okay. So, okay. So, he's releasing two more groups primarily because he's trying to get as many IPs going because he needs to recover. After LV, Louis Vuitton has actually pulled out their investments from YG. This was after the Burning Sun scandal and after YG himself was convicted of harassment. He harassed one of their former trainees, the girl. Han Sohee, I think is the name. So after he was convicted there, he was sentenced to, I don't know, 8 months in prison, but it was 2 years suspended. LV actually just pulled out and that they needed money. So now he kind of realized that they can't rely on just one IP because they're not going to survive. So 2023 was the big Blackpink year. But 2024, when Blackpink slowed down, because that's when they started doing their individual careers, they went negative, absolutely negative. So if you can see here, um, operating profit 2023, that was the Blackpink World Tour, and then 2024 when the girls slowed down, it was just an operating loss, and then 2025 operating profit because Blackpink was back. So the pattern is so consistent. He always needs that one group to rely on, but he's trying to change it. He's trying to become a bit more SM nowadays. That means releasing as many groups as he can in the market so that he can financially cycle through the different groups. Um, Anytime is right. Okay, thank you for sharing. That would be a great subject for a video. How many acts the different labels worldwide maintain to keep being profitable? Yup, he needs them. Yeah. So that's your. He didn't release much. One of the things, another characteristics of YG is that they don't release much of the details of what of their earnings. Sometimes he doesn't even do it. He has this even the exclusive kind of branding. He applies it even on his business. Like you can't bother him, you can't reach him, like they're a different level. The very first person that they sought as an investor was LV, and he actually got them. He's a really, really good marketer. So whenever they release their earnings report, unlike JYP, SM, and Hybe, where they actually have this presentation and then they actually like do an actual report to their stakeholders. He does not do that. He would do a release and that's it. If you're an investor, you're just, I guess he writes a letter to them. I don't know. He probably sends a report, but it's only to the investors, maybe. But he does not feed much to the media. Okay. Do you have questions before I go? Thank you so much, Fairley, having this wonderful live stream. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. Okay, you still have time for those of you who don't have anything to do after this live stream. You can still go to Discord. The concert is being streamed there. Okay, bye everybody. I'll see you Wednesday.